Hello, everyone. Welcome, Resilience Champions, to today's live stream under the topic It is never too late for you to succeed. It is never too late for you to succeed. It is never too late for you to succeed. I sit here every day to make these videos principally to remind you that you are not a failure just because you failed at some things at some point. You are a work in progress. We are all a work in progress. It's never too late, and you are never too old to start a new life or to have a new dream because each failure and each challenge prepares you for your next level. So, when you think that you have failed, try one more time. Hi, Cynthia, you are so welcome to today's show and today's topic, which for me is a very, very important topic because people often, thank you very much, Cynthia, you are so welcome. And today's topic is it is never too late to succeed because people always think from every age, there are some 15-year-olds who think they have already failed, or 25, at 30, at different ages, many people already think that they are a failure and they start giving up. But I always sit here and do these videos to remind you that you are not a failure just because you failed at some things at some points. We are all a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. And you know the good thing with progress and starting again is you are using the experiences from the challenges that you have overcome to do better and to find better solutions. And so, for me, I am a living example to tell you that it is never too late to succeed. It is never too late to start a new dream. It is never too late because why? Your competition is with you. You are not competing with anyone else. Your competition is to be a better person every new day. And so, thank you for the share, Cynthia. And so, when you look at around you, when we talk about modeling success, it means look at around you and see all the successful people. Look at their lives. You will see that they did not just succeed from the blues. It took a lot of time. Look at Oprah today. At 23, she had just got fired from her first job as a reporter. You remember Nelson Mandela? He became South Africa's president at 77 years after spending 27 years in prison. And look at the famous KFC. What did we hear? That Colonel Sanders did not find success with his chicken until he was 62. And sometimes you may think that those are people of a different generation and that things are different now because with the internet and with the communication facilities, many young people are making it early in life. They are becoming increasingly, we see young billionaires like now more than in the ages before, in the generation before, and we think that no, it's different now. Hi, Estelle, you are so welcome. And so when we look at all these people, thank you for the share. When we look at all these people who have succeeded, it doesn't mean that they come from a different generation, and so it was possible then and it is not possible now. Success has no deadline. You can start at any time and succeed. Because why? You are competing with yourself, and your mission is to become the best of you, to use all the God-given talents to be your best version, to be the best person you are. And so that's why I sit here and make these videos every day, to remind you that you are not a failure just because you failed at something at some point. You are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. And the good thing about improvement, you are starting again with with a lot of experiences. Thank you very much. And so, what is success for you? Because sometimes we think that success is some having a lot of money, a lot of things, a lot of property. I always define success for me as all the things that I have that money cannot buy. And for me, that is wealth, and that is success. So sometimes you think that at 35 you are not yet married, or you don't have children, and then you think you are a failure. No, there are women who have had children at 50, at 60, and even a lot of the people who have been successful, like the Forbes top 100 list of successful people, they say that 35 years is the most common age to start one of the top companies in the world. So, in that list of 100 people that Forbes studied, the average age where people started making impact was 35 years. And so, if you are 15 or 20 or 30 and you think that you have already failed and you are already given up on your dreams because you think that you don't have value and that you can no longer make impact, think about all the people. Like they say, it is many of the world's most successful people, they don't even start working on their dreams before they are 50. It's from 50 years or the 60s that people really start, a lot of successful people really start working on their dreams. I will sit also always quote these examples because all those examples, they help us to know that if it was possible for other people, it can be possible for us. We are not always saying that you have to copy. Everybody is unique. Everybody have their own talents. Everybody have their own God-given gifts. Some people find it easily. Some people do not find it easily, and some people find it later. But the important thing is to find it, because if you make up a policy of always trying to be a better person, which means you're always looking of new and creative ways of how to become your better version, of how to become a better person than you were the day before. And so most often that is what we have to be looking at. How can I become a better person? How can I use all my gifts to bring value to the world? How can I serve humanity and make an impact? And we are saying that it is never too late, because we have seen examples of famous people who started up and failed, but they did not give up. And that is another lesson. Never ever give up, no matter what happens, because sometimes you just need one decision. Sometimes you are just one decision away to your breakthrough. So each time you think that this is the end, try one more time. Try one more time and you will be surprised, because most often people give up just at the doorpost of their blessings. And talking about blessing, hi blessing, you are welcome, and thank you for joining the show. Thank you to everybody who is coming. Benedicta, I thank you for sharing and for giving. Cynthia, Thanks for sharing and for bringing everybody around. Today's topic, we are discussing about the fact that it is never too late to succeed. It is never too late for you to start a new life or to start a new dream. Because why? We are a work in progress and there is always room for improvement. You just need to decide to improve. And we are saying that the improvement you're doing is on yourself, because every new day you want to be a better person than you were the day before. And so when you look at life in that way, it becomes much easier for you to think and to know that success is possible. And what are we saying? Success is not the amount of money that you have or the amount of cars or property that you have. Is not only limited to money and property. Success is embodied in the things that you have that money cannot buy. And that's how you count yourself to be a successful person. Either you are a good mother, you are a good wife, you are a good husband, you just do the best and to make people around you to feel their best. And that is how you measure your success. Because success is relative, it depends on each person. And when you are 15, 20, 35, 50, or even above 50 like me, and you think life has ended, think about Nelson Mandela. At when did he become the president of South Africa? At 77 years. Hi, Elizabeth, you are welcome to today's show, and we are talking about, the discussion is centered on, it is never too late for you to succeed. So if you have any ideas or you want to share anything, you can come on the live, on the panel to share, or you can share your thoughts in the comments. Everybody is talking to everybody in the comments, and I am so blessed to have you all here during this live stream where we are discussing that it is never too late to succeed, because we are a work in progress and there is always room for improvement. It depends on the decisions we make. And that is why it is always important for you to have do an auto evaluation of your life at every moment. Maybe every 3 months or every 6 months, it depends on you. You can do it every week. Always take your time to be with you, have that conversation with yourself, to ask questions. Is this the right thing I am doing for me? Is this where I want to be? Is this how I want my life to be? So, when you have the habit of asking and doing an auto evaluation, you find clarity and you find answers and you find new ways of, new creative ways of achieving more, of growing. Because the essence is, are we growing? Because if you make a policy of always doing an auto evaluation, asking yourself, am I growing? That will help you to know if you're growing and to see what kind of actions do I need to become a better person. Because the whole idea about life is become a better person than who you were. Use your gifts to serve humanity and to make your impact in the world. And you can do it in every way. It's not only the politicians, it's not only the famous people, either like a good mother at home, like a good wife or a good husband, like a good colleague at work. At every level, we need visionary and creative ways to make our environment more comfortable for the people who work with us, for the people who live with us, for the people who are with us. And I was giving examples of people who have succeeded, because I quoted, I like, I, the statistics from Forbes top 10 or top 100 successful people. They quote Oprah that she was fired from her first reporting job when she was 23. Did that end life for her? No. She kept finding new creative ways to grow. And then we talk about we talk about the famous Colonel Sanders, because KFC is everybody's go-to today. But know what? Before KFC became what it was, it took Colonel Sanders 62 years to succeed and to make it a generational business for his family. So, what does that tell us? That every time we are on time, and that the best time to start growing is now. Giving up is not the option. Giving up is never an option. Because why? When you give up, you miss so many things, because sometimes you are just one decision away from your success. So don't give up. Each time you want to give up, try one more time. Hi, Lucy, you are welcome to today's show, where we are discussing the idea that it is never too late. It is never too late to start a new life, to have a new dream, because we are a work in progress. There is always room for improvement, and we always start again with more experience than the previous time. So, greetings to everyone in the chat. Everybody is talking to everybody. Hi, Onwa- Onwadiya. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I've been trying to pronounce that name. Juicy Slot, you are so welcome. Yes, Elizabeth. Always fight hard for what you want, especially your dreams and passions, because nobody is coming to do it for you. You are the one who is responsible for your life. And so make it a successful life. And how do you make it a successful life? You don't have to give up. You never lose sight of your dreams, because you are your own rescue. It is never too late. When we think about all the examples that I'm quoting, look at Morgan Freeman. When did he land his first major movie role? At 52. You might think that they are people of a different generation, because this generation is full of millionaires at 20. But I tell you, intergenerational conversations are always on point. The things that happened generations past are still possible today. Think about all the formidable Bible stories that are still inspiring us today. What does that tell us? That people's stories are everlasting, and they can always influence the way we think and the way we do things. Hi, Lucy, you are so welcome. I'm glad to have all of you here. Everybody is talking to everybody in the chat, and I am so blessed to have all of you here. Exactly, Elizabeth. Everyone will not believe in your vision or in you, but that is why you have to be your own best friend, your own hero, and you have to be the first on your own line. And I can tell you that I have learned a lot from that, of not of thinking that people believed in my vision, and I lost a lot of things because I thought that the people whom I was sharing my vision with were rooting for my happiness. But no, that was not the case. I learned it the hard way. And that's why sometimes when people when people don't tell you their projects, Don't be angry at them. It's because of the experiences they have had. Because most often, when you tell your dreams to the wrong person, I tell you, they will kill it immediately. Because not everybody is happy for your success, and not everybody wants you to be a success. Meanwhile, when you are successful, for example, if you are successful in your family or in your community, it's a blessing for everyone. So I learned that at a very high cost. But what is life? Learning and adjusting and adapting. So now I know better. I will not tell my story, or I will not tell my projects to everyone. And that is why it is good to always have a community of people you trust, like minded people with whom you have the same kind of discussions, with whom you are growing together, like minded, genuine people who are helping you to grow. Everybody is talking to everybody. I'm so happy. Please, I would like for you to share your views about the topic, or if you want to come on the panel, you are so welcome. Hi, Marlene, you are welcome. You are welcome to today's live. I'm happy that you found time to come. Hey, Ben, you are welcome. I am doing fine. I hope you are also having a productive Wednesday. Everybody is talking to everybody, and we thank you for the share. And we are really happy because today we have global communities where we can learn from people from everywhere. We can mix, we can really commune with people and learn a lot of things and grow together. Because what is your responsibility? Find that community that will help you to grow. If you go to a community and you are not growing, change it. You are not obliged to remain where you are not celebrated. You have to find where you are celebrated and remain there. Ben says it's very hard to succeed, but it is possible, I guess, if you are lucky. Absolutely, Ben. It is hard to succeed, but it is also not only luck. What is luck? When opportunity meets preparedness. What does that mean? You have to work on yourself so that when you get the opportunity, you are prepared to optimize it. So, luck, I don't believe in luck. I believe in opportunities and people's preparedness, because you can have people have had golden opportunities, but they were not prepared and they lost them. I don't know what you people think about what Ben is saying, because sometimes sometimes we think that it is hard to succeed. Failure is also hard. Resilience champions, I can tell you, failure is really hard. Okay, Marlene, you are welcome. I thank you for being around for multitasking. And so we what are we going to do? Are we going to just fold our hands and sit because success is hard? No, we have to keep trying. And I can tell you, sometimes you are just one decision away from your success or from your breakthrough. Sometimes you are just one decision away to that thing that you have been working hard for. Okay, Ben says, I got a great opportunity. I'm originally from Scotland in the United Kingdom, and we were going through a hard economic crisis. But I recently moved to Brazil and got a good job there and met my fiance. Congratulations. And why did you succeed? Because you took action. The situation, there was an economic crisis in your country, and you decided to move. You did not sit and wait to just, okay, you did not give up on you. And that's what we are saying. When one door closes, look and see one window always opens, and most often when the door closes, it is not the end, but it is God's way of telling you that you should change direction. So Ben, Onwadiya is in Brazil and she's asking you, what part of Brazil are you living in? Maybe you guys are neighbors, who knows? And this is the beauty of the global community, because we meet people every day. You didn't know that there was somebody in Brazil, from Brazil, in the house. So now there are two of you in Brazil. Maybe you are neighbors, who knows? And what are we doing? We are in the business of collecting and connecting with good people. So you can get connected, and that is life. Connections and growing. You connect with people who can help you to grow. And so, whatever your dream is, it is never too late to achieve it. You are not a failure because you failed at something at some point. You are not a failure if you haven't started your own business at 30 or at 40, even at 50. And you are not a failure if you are not married at 35 or if you don't have children. And you are not a failure if you don't own your own house at 40 or 50. Who cares? And you are not even a failure if you haven't figured out what you want to do with your life by the time you hit 50. Because the important thing is to keep working on your dreams. Yes, on what the world is a small place, and that's why they say the internet has made the world to become a global village. Okay, I'm glad you found a nicer place. Because sometimes when you travel, you remove all the, I don't want to call preconceived, there are preconceived ideas that you have had about places or people. And I agree with you, Onwadia. Brazil is a lovely place. I have a lot of friends from Brazil who, I've never been to Brazil, but I have a lot of friends from Brazil, and I worked with a lot of people from Brazil because I worked in an NGO that had an office in Brazil. So I know a few people from Brazil. I've not been there, but I know that it's a beautiful place because most of the time when we had our global meetings, there was always a cultural night, and the people from Brazil always had a rich cultural display that really made people entertained and educated. So I'm putting Brazil in my to go list. One of the places to go. I have you two here already, and some other amazing people in Brazil. Thank you very much. Your country, Brazil, is gorgeous. I kind of miss the music and football in Scotland, but I've got a room that reminds me of home where I sit sometimes to relax. So home is wherever you make it. And you say you miss football in Scotland, you are in Brazil and you are missing football. I tell you, then you have not known Brazil, because when the Samba boys start doing their football, I don't think you really miss Scotland so much. So just look around and you would not miss football or decide to be part of the football team. I know that in Brazil, they play football everywhere. Like it's just like in Cameroon, where children play football everywhere and they use everything is a ball. And once there are two or three people, you already have a game going. Okay, Lucy, you're welcome. And so Ben, you don't need to miss football. Well, you can miss Scottish football, that's different, but you are in a football country. Brazil is one of the the most famous football countries we know because they have some of the most famous players in the world. Yes, you will enjoy the football here as well as beautiful carnivals. Absolutely, because I love Brazilians. They know how to make merry, and they know how to optimize their time and blend pleasure with work, and which always makes it easier for you to be productive because, yeah, Ben says, "Oh, trust me, the football here is class. I just slightly miss the team I grew up supporting, where I would go to watch on winter nights with the northern nights lights." Absolutely, it's not the same thing, and I'm glad you're saying that, because what is success? And you carry you are the one who embodies your success, and who works for your success, and who defines your success. So wherever you are, it is you don't need to be in a particular place to succeed. It's true that there are some environments that are enabling, that will help you to succeed, but also the success depends on you. So you make a successful environment wherever you are, because you are the one who makes your own success. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy to hear. I hope you can connect with Ben and have some real good time in Brazil. Even start connecting online. Maybe you are neighbors, maybe not, but you are nearer. And so this is why this community is important, because you meet people whom you didn't know were even near you, and then you connect with them, and then you grow and you help each other. And so it is really, really a blessing that we have in the world today, because we have the internet that is connecting us and really helping us to meet new people, because sometimes we really need to meet new people to be able to move to higher heights. And so you always you always meet new people when you look for them. You don't sit for new people to come and meet you. And if you didn't come to this live stream today, you wouldn't meet Ben, or maybe you will meet Ben in another circumstance. But whatever the case, it is always good to find new people. It is always good to find new people, to connect with new people, and to learn new things, because it is those new things that help us to grow, that help us to achieve our goals, and that which goals sometimes we give up so easily on, without thinking about how all the famous people, we are not trying to look at them and compare our lives with them. We are looking at them to model the success, to model the strategies that they used. And we are saying modeling success because we learn in two ways: from your own personal experiences, which sometimes is so painful, so hurtful, and so difficult that most often people miss the lesson in the challenge. And then we learn in the second way from other people's mistakes. And then we learn how they use the lessons from their mistakes to build better and grow. And that's why they say model success. You copy their strategy, you adapt it to your circumstances and to your own experiences, and then you replicate it in your own way, in your own size, because success strategies are not one size fits all. No, because we are unique and we have unique experiences, success for everybody and successful strategies for everybody is different. But you can model the successful people, adapt the strategy and replicate it in your own life and achieve your own success. So they did not say copy and paste, they said adapt and replicate. And I will not stop saying that, because most often we think we have to compare with everyone else, or we have to be like some people. Meanwhile, we were made uniquely to be to stand out, and then we are there struggling to fit in. And I don't say that people live in isolation. We live in communities. Each community have their rules and regulations. We have our cultures, we have our norms. Hey, Balus, you are so welcome. You know, I thought you were at work already. How is today? I hope you had some rest from yesterday's hectic day, and that today is a more productive day. And today we've been discussing about it is never too late for you to succeed, because we said we are a work in progress and there is always room for improvement, and that the best thing about reinventing yourself or starting again or finding creative ways to succeed is you have experiences from the lessons of your past challenges that will help you to build better and to grow and to succeed. And we are saying that success, like we always say, you define what success is for you. And it is not only limited to, yes, sleep is always a great medication. Thank you. I am having a beautiful day and I'm blessed to have all of you in this live chat, sharing your experiences, sharing with everyone, everyone talking with everyone, and growing together, because the whole mission is to grow together. You find a group of people with whom you genuinely share and grow together. So we were talking about a lot of people who think that they have already failed at 23, at 15, at 30, at 45, at even at 50. They have already given up on themselves. They have even forgotten what it means to dream, because they think that it is already too late and that they have already failed. And I brought the examples of our famous Colonel Sanders of KFC. At what age did he finally succeed with his chicken? At 62. If he had given up at 50, we wouldn't have KFC today. Look at Nelson Mandela. He became president of South Africa at 77 after 27 years in jail. If he had given up, he wouldn't be the great example of a visionary leader that he has been, and which is making his name live on. And when we look at even Ray Kroc, who started his first McDonald's, when did he start? At 51. But McDonald's today is a big brand that everybody, all the children, look forward to Sundays when they can go out, or weekends from school when they can go out and have a McDonald's, a McDonald's. And even the great Morgan Freeman, when did he have his first major movie role? At 52. So all these stories is just to remind you that you are never too old. It is never too late. The only thing that you don't have to do, don't ever give up, because giving up is not an option. And why don't you have to give up? Because you might be just one decision away from your success. You might be just one step away from your success. And when you think that you are a work in progress, because sometimes we think it has ended. No, we are a work in progress, and you are your own competition, striving each day to be better than the day before. And you could literally just decide today to turn your life around. It is never too late and you are never too old. And you are your own clock. You are your own clock. You are nobody else's clock. So let people not put a timeline to the things that you have to achieve. True, we live in a society where they have rules, where they have customs, where they have cultures, but also we are responsible for ourselves. So whatever your dream is, nobody is coming to do it for you, and nobody is coming to save you except you want to save yourself, and then you ask for help. But you must first carry yourself to where you can carry yourself before asking for help. Nobody is going to start from scratch with you. You have to try. You have to stay in action. You have to stay focused. You have to be curious, looking for opportunities everywhere. And Ben says luck. And I will tell you, luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. Because you might think that some people are lucky, and I will tell you they were prepared for every time opportunity will come. And so when opportunity came, it made them prepared and they hit it. And people call it luck. You have to be prepared, because no matter how blossoming an opportunity is, if you are not prepared, you are going to miss it. And that's why you have to stay vigilant. And so sometimes, because we live in societies with strict laws, we think that we have failed. And I will always tell you, whatever your dream is, stay focused on it. You are not a failure because you failed at something at some point. Absolutely, Balus. That is why it is important to strive to be better and do better each day. That's what Balus says. And I totally subscribe to that, because your competition is with you. And at the end of the day, you should always ask yourself, hey, hi Peter, how are you? Peter is tuning in from Malaysia. We have a very global community today. There's Peter from Malaysia, there is Onwadia and Ben from Brazil, there is America, there's different countries from Africa. I am so blessed to have you all. Hi, Peter. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Oh, it's night. I don't know if it's night already, but you function like for you. And that's why we're saying it is your own clock, your own time. Balu says we don't know exactly what we need to be prepared for or when we will be facing it. We don't know precisely, but for sure, if you are focused on waiting for an opportunity to grow, which means you have prepared your skills, you have prepared your networks, you have prepared to take action, when that opportunity comes, you will be ready. You will be ready. And so I was talking about societal constraints, and people always feel the pressure because we live in a society where they think that by 30 you should be married, you should have children for women, or you should have your own family, even for the men. And we are saying that you are not a failure if you haven't started your own business at 30. You are not even a failure if you are not married at 35. You are not a failure if you don't have a house, your own home at 40. And you are not even a failure if you haven't figured out what you want to do with your life by the time you hit 50. Balu says, if we are steadily moving forward, opportunity is more likely to cross our path. Absolutely. And that's what we are saying. The striving to be a better person, to grow. Because what is preparedness? Our desire to grow, and we focus on actions that are making us to grow. Because why? We want to be better every new day than we were the previous day. And so when you look at all of these people that I'm quoting, people would think that no, they are from a different generation and that today is different. And I am saying that intergenerational communication and stories are still valid, are more than valid today, because it is true that today it is much easier for 20 years olds to be millionaires or billionaires because of all the developments in communication and technology. But we were saying that even so, the stories of all these people in the other generation, like Nelson Mandela's generation, like Colonel Sanders, who succeeded in their 60s, in their 70s, it is still valid for us today. It is more than valid for us today, because that is what should make us even realize that it is never too late, and just keep building on our dreams and keep focusing on our success. Because you could literally just decide today to turn your life around, and with one simple decision. What is this decision? To do better every other day, and to keep pushing, keep looking until you find. And you, when you look at it, that you are your own clock, you don't measure your success from your neighbor's children who were married at 20, who had it all at 25. No, you measure it on your own standards. You set your own standards for you. And what is success? Success, everybody defines their own success. And for me, success is all the things that I have that money cannot buy. And for me, that is success and that is wealth for me. Absolutely, Balus. I am still learning how to edit my videos. I come from a generation where we had physical books. We go to the library, we borrow a physical book, we read it. Oh, so everything was printed out material. And so technology is not like something that we grew up with. But I need to use it today. And I am not going to stop doing videos because I cannot edit. I'm learning to edit, and with each new video, it gets better. But if I just sit and give up, I will not do any videos. I will not be sitting here and reminding you, because most of the times we need these reminders. I am reminding you that you are not a failure just because you failed at something at some point. You are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. And the good thing is, each time you start something new, you are starting with a lot of learned lessons from the experiences, from your challenges. And we are resilient champions. Because why? Think about all the things that you have been through, all the times that you thought that this was the end, and then you scaled through it. You flexed your resilience muscle and scaled and came out of that situation. And what does that tell you? That each time you are challenged, flex those muscles, flex your resilience muscles. Because why? Most of the answers are within us and they depend on us. Balu says peace is more valuable than anything monetary. If we move with peace and joy in our hearts, our needs will always be met. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are not saying that money is a bad thing. Money is a very good thing. As you can have as much money as you want, it is a good thing to have the money. But don't let your money take away your peace. Don't let your money take away your joy. Don't be so focused on your money that you forget the other valuable things that you have that money cannot buy. And what are those things? You were able to get up today. You can breathe, you can walk, you can even just see the birds or the sunshine. You can breathe the air out there. Those are valuable things that money cannot buy, and those are more useful for you. Money is useful for you, but it shouldn't be like a measuring board for you to think that if I don't have a certain amount of money, it means I am not a successful person. So you define success on your own terms, and we are saying that success does not have a deadline because everything needs time to grow. Nothing happens overnight when you are starting a business. No, when just even think like Balus, you will agree with me that even when you plant your seeds, they don't grow overnight. When you plant, sometimes it takes a week for them to germinate and start growing. And then you have to nurture them, because you don't just plant and then go and come back for harvest. No, you have to nurture them every day. You have to weed out all the weeds that are there, and for it to eventually blossom, you have to plant, you have to nurture, you even have to look for the best seeds to plant. I remember when we were growing up, oh, in my community, because we are a farming community. When we harvest, we select some of the very good products and keep them like seeds for the next planting season, because we have to, if we want a good harvest, we have to plant good seeds. So you don't just plant any seed that you need, you find good seeds to plant. I mean, we will be on the right route. Roads where opportunity Roads where opportunity will appear, we will be prepared. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. And so I was saying that the truth about success is that it doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't happen if you don't take focused action. If you don't act, it will not happen. So what I was talking to Balus, because she is a gardener and she understands a lot about planting. I'm also talking, I know that most of my African brothers and sisters who are listening, we come from farming communities, or at least we know how farming is done. You find the best seeds, you plant them, they don't germinate overnight. Sometimes it needs like a week or 10 days to germinate, and then you have to nurture them. You remove the weeds, you separate the weeds from the crops, and then you keep nurturing, mulching, and putting manure or something for it to blossom. Because if you don't put in that work, you are not going to get a good harvest, because the weeds are going to outgrow your plants. Balu says, in a conventional garden, yes, I planted these in specific spots where I know the water levels. They grow wild, especially tomatoes and squashes. The wild grows beautiful plants. Absolutely. What did you say? You planted them in specific spots. And so that is the nurturing we are talking about. You didn't just take your seeds and flung them in your garden. They are specific spots where you planted them, because you know that those spots have maybe more fertilizer, more manure. The soil there is more conducive to make the plants grow and blossom. And If you don't find those specifics, you are not going to get a good harvest. You might have some, but the harvest will be better when you find those specific spots and then you plant good seeds, you nurture them, they will blossom. And so there's nothing that happens overnight. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And may she rest in peace. I think Jackie should, she is a she, right? Accept my condolences for you and your family. I know what it means when somebody passes away, even though we know that the that is the inevitable route for all of us. But when it happens, we are always never prepared because we always want to have more and more of the people we love around us. But God's will is not to be challenged. We can't challenge it. We always say God's time is the best, and every time is God's time. And so accept my heartfelt condolences for you and your family, and you for all the courage and my prayers. You need a lot of prayers because that is the thing that kept me going when I lost my brothers or when I lost somebody that I know. Prayers really help. So may Jackie's soul rest in peace. We are all going to meet them when our own turns come because eventually our own turns will come. So we are saying that there's nothing that happens by accident, which means you have to you have to make time. You have to make it intentional. Yes, but the death in the wild is so rich and beautiful. Absolutely. And that is why the birds, the animals, they don't need they don't they just thrive where they are in their environment. And that's the beauty of nature. And so sometimes you may be tempted to think that you are not as valuable as some people, some famous people. But the truth about life is we all start on a clean slate, and everybody have you have your pen, you have your clean slate. Write your story. You are the author of your own story. So you decide what chapters you want to put in your story. You decide how you want the story to be. You decide the story that you want to tell. And you decide everything. If you want it to be a beautiful story, a story of success, a story of impact, a story of service, it is your decision. And that is why we always say every time you are one decision away to your breakthrough because everything depends on you. You have the pen, you have the clean slate, you decide what to write. I decided to change the story that I was telling myself, a story of lack, of failure, of I decided to change my story and to tell a new story of abundance. Because why? The beauty of your life being in your own hands is you have the power to erase all the parts about of your story that you don't want them to remain in your book of life. You erase the things that you don't want. I know that the scars sometimes cannot really go, but you erase them in the way that the scars are not visible. and then you write new beautiful things about you. I always like this line that when you count beautiful things, count you first. Because why? You are the first on your line. You are your own best friend. You are your own hero. And so it is always it is always your opinion. It is always your idea. It is always your responsibility. Everything depends on you. Bible says we had a great deal of woods cut down. This left many animals and yeah, yeah. I can't change what happened to them. Absolutely. And sometimes we have to step on people or things to get to our dreams. That is nature. It's true. You can't change what happened to them. But I tell you, they will find a way to survive. They will go to other nearby woods and find a way to survive, because animals are the best examples of people who strive to survive. But you can make it easier to coexist. In my heart, mind, and soul, that is what I consider a success. Absolutely. Hey, Nemi Inspired, you are so welcome. And I thank you. Thank you, Estelle family, for inviting a new family member. Nemi, you are welcome. Here we talk inspiration, we talk motivation, we talk of new ways to reinvent your life, to reinvent your dreams, to reset your finances, your relationship, your family. We talk reset here, and that is why we are discussing today on the topic, it is never too late for you to succeed. And so you are welcome. And if you have any ideas, you can share with us in the chat. If you want to come to the panel, you are welcome to click that link and you are on the show. So you are welcome to this live stream. And please, I am happy you are talking to each other, and we are content creators. Please make sure to follow and subscribe and follow each other so that we continue building ourselves up, because most of the people in the chat, they are content creators and they have their own channels. So please, let's connect and stay and grow together, because together we go further. Alone you can just go far, but together we go further. And there's nothing as credible as they say, teamwork makes dream work. So what does it mean? You can only do as much as you can, but if you are in a community of people with different talents, people can always help you with what they do best that you don't do, to build better. So here we are genuinely building each other up. And so you are very welcome, Nemi, and it's a pleasure to have you in this live show. So we are saying that you get to write your own definition of success, because sometimes we think that success means money, titles, social status, and then we don't feel successful when we don't have these things. I used to feel like that. I used to think that I was not a success because I was divorced and I didn't have children. But I had professional success. I was impacting lives. I was serving a lot of people in very meaningful ways, changing their lives and helping them to find their dreams and to grow. So I also passed through that stage where I thought that I had to define my success by what society put of you being married and having children at a certain age. And when I didn't have that, I thought that I was not successful. But when I learned that success is defined by you, and that when you want to know how successful you are or how wealthy you are, count the things that you have that money cannot buy. I'll keep saying this because this is what changed my life. This is the mindset that completely turned me, that was a complete turnaround for me. Hi, Luis, you are so welcome. I hope you're doing fine today. And we are having a very global audience today. Luis is from Spain. We have Onwadia from Brazil, and Ben. We have Balus and a lot of Elizabeth Brown and all of you from the US. And we have all my inspiring little sisters from many parts of Africa. You are so welcome. Today we are discussing on the topic. Yes, I thank you. You are my friend, and you know that the road to success has not been easy because I had to redefine what I call success. And that is when I started understanding that my own definition of success was the beautiful things that I have that money could not buy. And also, I realized that success for everybody depends on you being a better version of you with each new day. And so, when you think that you are not successful, think about your life a year before or a few months back. I started my YouTube channel a few months back, and when today I see that I have more than almost, I'm getting to almost, let me be optimistic, almost 250 subscribers, and all of you worldwide who listen to what I say and put it into practice, because I come to the microphone every day to remind you that you are not a failure just because you failed at some things at some point. We are all a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. So I have the link there. If anybody wants to come up to share their ideas, you can come to the panel. You don't need to be on the microphone. You can come up. You don't need to be on camera. Thank you very much, Balus. We are all successful because we are all better than what we were the day before. And that is the essence of life. Always feeling comfortable at being you, your unique self, and at striving to be a better person than you were last year, or a few months ago, or yesterday. And the bottom line is, always remind yourself that you are never too late. Because why? You have your own clock. The clock is yours, it's nobody else's. It is your clock. Yes, all of us are wise, depending on how we decide to look at life. When we change the way we look at life, the questions we ask ourselves, because for me, each day is, am I really where I could be? Can I be better? And what can I do to be a better person? And so I keep striving to grow or to become a better version of me. And I keep telling myself that it is never too late and that I am never too old. Even no matter how many chances I have missed, my focus is on growing. I don't focus on the things that I have missed. I focus on the things that can make me grow. And that is why when people think that, when we quote the examples of Colonel Sanders, who achieved success with KFC at 62, or Nelson Mandela, who became president at 77, or even Morgan Freeman, who landed his first major movie role at 52, people say that no, they are of a different generation and that the times are changing. And because in today's world, we have young entrepreneurs who are billionaires in their 20s. And I always tell you, the truth is, we all are unique and stories are timeless. And you, if you are somebody who reads the Bible, you can think about all the Bible stories that still inspire us till today, and you will know that intergenerational stories are helpful to make us grow even in whatever generation we are growing. Balu says, that's never been my problem. If anything, I was told to conform. I'm resistant because I will always be me. At work, I am professional. That is what, that is all that matters. My freedom is my own. You are absolutely right. Because we more in my generation, but the generation today, the people today, they don't really just conform to anything that you say. I live with my sister and her children. Even the small 5 year old, sometimes I tell him to do something and he will ask me, why do I have to do it? In my generation, you dare not ask a question when your mother or your auntie or some older person tells you to do something. You dare not even ask a question, you just do it because you have to respect your elders and stuff. But today, the people today, they ask a lot of questions, which is so important because we are growing, we are in a changing world. We have the communities and the cultures and the rules and the regulations, but we have the responsibility to also build ourselves. And once we look at, when you have roles and responsibilities, you have to always ask yourself, who am I meant to be? Am I meant to be what society thinks that I should be? Or could I be more successful if I just followed my dreams and found my way? And because of the strict conformity, conformity that society put people to. Hi, business lifestyle, you are welcome. Willen, I am so happy to have you in this live show. You are so welcome. Today's topic we are talking about, we are discussing on the fact that it is never too late for you to succeed because success has no deadline and it depends on you. And that each time you might be just one decision away from your breakthrough or from your success. And that is why you have to keep striving. You have to keep growing. And so I'm coming back to what Balu said. People conform and at and that is why sometimes at 30, when you don't have your own business or you don't have a lot of money, you already think you are a failure and you start giving up. You are not a failure even if at 35 you are not married and you don't have children and you don't have a family. Even at 50, people have their different dreams and people have their different, people should be allowed to make their life the way it fits them and the way they want it. And I have seen or I have experienced what it means to conform to what society thinks. And that is why, even though I had professional success, I always come back to my story. I felt I was a failure because I was a two-time divorcee and I did not have children. And for me, it was as if I was a complete failure until when I realized that I had to define my own meaning of success, and that it doesn't mean that I made a mistake in the marriage choice, that I was a failure. Because why? We all make mistakes. We all take wrong decisions most often, but the important thing is to realize that the decision was a wrong one and to find new ways of using the lessons from the things that challenge us to build back and build better. And when I realized that in every challenge, it was more important for me to look for the lesson, I started looking at life and perceiving life in a new way that helped me to keep growing. Yes, because when you change the perception, the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so you always have to, that's why I always recommend to the people I coach, always do an auto evaluation every once in a while and ask yourself, am I where I am supposed to be? If not, what can I do to get further? Or is this the kind of dream? Is this really my dream? So always have to have that conversation with yourself to help you have more clarity. Because when you have more clarity, it will help you to grow more easily. And I always remind everyone listening to me and everybody I talk with, you are your own competition. You are not competing with anybody else. And that is why they say you can model success. And what do they mean? You look at what successful people have done, you copy the strategy, you adapt it to your circumstances and to your own experiences, and then you replicate it to get your own success. So it's not, they didn't say copy and paste. They said adapt and replicate, which means everybody is unique. And exactly, everybody have their own purpose and you are unique. So just be your authentic self. Don't try to be another person because it will waste you time, it will stress you, and then you will get sick for nothing. If you want to be authentic, you will see how life is so easy. So success is possible, but you have to take action. And how do we take action? We take action from the lessons from our challenges. We take action from from seeing the opportunities around us and finding strategies how to utilize them. And we are also saying that luck does not exist when you just sleep in your house and wait for luck. Luck is when opportunity meets preparedness, which means you are prepared to grow, to become your best version. You are prepared to take action, and when that opportunity comes, it meets you when you are prepared. And so the action that you're taking at that time is the action that will help you to grow and achieve better. Hi, Saniki, you are welcome. Bible says everyone here has a strength another doesn't have. That person has a strength another doesn't have. Together we cover all bases. And that is the beauty of community. Absolutely. Wow. Peter has some golden nuggets. Luck means laboring under correct knowledge. Absolutely. This is beautiful, Peter. I like that acronym. Laboring under correct knowledge. That is so, so well said. Because if you are not prepared, how are you going to seize the opportunity? And how are you going to optimize it? Yes, Bible says he loves that. Peter is another level. Peter is so talented. Please follow his YouTube channel and you will see the amazing things that he's doing. Peter lives in Malaysia. He teaches Japanese in the university. but he is a gifted artist and he has a podcast, and he has a YouTube channel. Please, let's follow each other so we can grow together, because we are in the business of building each other. Like Balu says, together we cover all our bases. Together we go further, because alone you can just go as far as, but when you are in a community of genuine people building each other, you go further. I thank you, Peter, because you are always so serviceable. You are so gifted, so talented, and I love what you do. And thank you for your service, because you are making impact worldwide. And so when you focus on just trying to find you, you get clarity, just trying to find new creative ways of becoming a better person. Because life is not, every day we learn new things, until the day we die, we keep learning. We keep learning. And I really always think about the fact that you get to write your own definition of success. Louis says, I call him Luis. He's the Rivers Arias. I call him Luis. Luis is my very good friend in Spain. And he's asking, which one is your main source of inspiration? That's a very beautiful question. I am my main source of inspiration because I'm in a community with Peter where we are movement makers, where we build movement. And yeah, he says he's Luis. Yeah, I call him Luis so people will not be confused. So we are in a community of movement makers where they will always ask you, what is your one word? And my one word is resilience. Because for me, I don't give up. I always think that there's something better coming. And that is what gives me the inspiration to grow, or to keep looking for ways to grow. Because I count on my resilience. I always flex those muscles to find answers. I don't give up. I My one word is resilience, because I discover that most of the time when I am challenged and I dig deep within, I find answers. And I think that is the same thing for everyone. Most of our answers are within us. And that is why they tell us you are your own rescue, because everything is within you, everything depends on you. It depends on you to find what you are good at. Yes, resilience. It depends on you to find what you are good at. And then you take you to the level where you can go, and you find help to take you further. And that is where we say it is okay to ask for help. So, what inspires me, Luis, is my resilience. I am inspired by myself. I am also inspired by the community of like minded people who are genuinely growing with me, or who are helping me to grow. And that's why when you go to a community where you are not celebrated, or where your energy is being drained, leave. How to feed resilience? With positivity. I am an optimist who always thinks that it is possible. For me, I always know that it is possible. And that's why even when I get to my darkest night, I know that with the new day is a new possibility. And I treat every new day like a new opportunity. And I am ready to seize the opportunity. And how so that is how I fit my resilience with optimism and a positive mindset. I always know that it is possible. And I always know, why do I know that it is possible? Because even if I go as far as I have gone, I can model the successful people, their strategies to become my own better person or to find my own success. And so you have to have that self belief. You have to believe in yourself. That is something that you can work on. Everything you work on to become what you want, you work on it to make it a habit. You can learn something new, do it over and over, you work on it for it to become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, you do it naturally. And so you can learn. I learn a lot. And once I started my personal development journey, that was 4 years ago. I first of all learned that I had to have a shift in my mindset. I had to shift that mindset from a mindset of negativity, lack, to a mindset of abundance and positivity. And so mindset shift is capital. And what happens with mindset shift? Because I also realized that most of the limiting beliefs that I had, I am not good enough, I am not valuable, I am I may not succeed, and the doubts, I realized that all of those were self-imposed. It is true that I was working on the expectations from the society, but I also realized that I am the one who imposed those beliefs in me. I imposed them on me. I had to start by unlearning my limiting beliefs, because we are the ones, society has the expectations, but we always judge ourselves so much that we want to give more than even what the society expects. And then we are not compassionate with ourselves. Meanwhile, we are compassionate with everyone else. And so we want to be the good example. We want to fit in. Meanwhile, we were made to stand out. And once I realized that it is okay to stand out, it is okay not to fit in, it is okay to just be your unique self. It changed, it changed a whole lot for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Luis is asking, do you think the best is yet to come? Absolutely. The best is always ahead of us, because why? We are growing and progressing. And so when you look at life from the fact that the best is yet to come, you keep growing and you keep striving to get the best. Hello, A to Z Budgets, you are welcome to today's live show. And Adams Homestead, you are welcome. And I always enjoy your contributions. But anybody who feels comfortable to come up on the panel and share their ideas, you are welcome. Odom said, I had to learn to stop being so hurt on myself and forgive myself for past mistakes to stop blocking my blessings. You are on point, absolutely on point. And all of us, you are not alone. I had to also learn how to forgive myself, and learn not to stay in my mistakes, and learn to stop being my own blockage. Because when we don't forgive ourselves, we are blocked and we miss out on so many blessings. I am so proud of you because you took that bold step. You learned and you took action to stop being hurt and to stop overjudging you and to be compassionate with yourself, because that is something that we give out to everyone else, but we don't practice self-compassion. Hi, we have another panelist who has come to share their ideas.
Hello, mommy. Good evening, ma.
Good
I greet you,
evening.
mommy. I'm here. She's busy.
You are so welcome.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, ma. Yes.
Yeah, there's somebody there who does not want you to speak or who wants to also come on the microphone. That is interesting. Children have to be heard too. So I was saying that most often we are so hard on ourselves because we want to be so perfect. It is not possible. It's only God who is perfect. And we cannot really be so conformist to the letter. We have to give ourselves that grace. And it is so important to forgive yourself. And all the things that we do to people, we have to start by doing them to us. And that is why it is so important for me when I talk about being your own, the importance of being your own best friend, and the importance of self-love, the importance of being your own hero. Because why? Most often we think that we should look for friends outside. Meanwhile, you don't treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. So start by treating yourself like you would treat your own best friend. And you do that by being your own best friend, by being your own hero, by being the first on your line, by being compassionate with you first. So by serving you first, you can serve now everyone else from your overflow, because you cannot give what you don't have. And that is why it starts with a self. And that is why working on yourself is such an important part of your well being. You have to work on yourself. You have to always give yourself the best. If you want to give your family, your friends, your colleagues, if you want to give them the best, start by giving it to yourself. And then now you can serve them from your overflow. And many people really get stuck with blaming, self blame. I was there too. It took me a long time to learn that it is okay to make mistakes, that everyone makes mistakes. But the important thing is to pick the lesson and not make the same mistake over and over. So learn from your mistakes, pick the lessons, and move on. Because, like Odom said, when you keep, when you stay a prisoner of your own mistakes, you block your blessings. You block your blessings. And that is one of the things that we really have to practice consciously. Things don't happen to us by accident. We have to, it's true that there's divine providence. You have to make room for that providence to come into life. If you don't make room, providence will pass you by. So make room. Stop hurting yourself. Just know that it is okay to make mistakes. At some point, we all make wrong choices. But the the thing that hurts most is for you to remain in your wrong choice. Once you are conscious that this was not the best choice, pick the lesson and move. Let us stop blocking our own blessings by being compassionate to ourselves, forgiving to ourselves, and being the blessing that we want to give to others. Bless yourself and serve others from your overflow. Balu says some people take time to learn new habits. If you make the same mistakes multiple times, keep forgiving yourself, but work much harder.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Oh, okay, you're back.
Yes,
So,
mommy.
okay, you have the microphone.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you, everyone. I greet everybody in the house. I pray you understand my English. Hey, thank you. Yes, mommy, is to make a mistake, Abi. Success. Let me go and look the comment again, because that is why me I always check my own comments.
Okay.
Yes,
Hi,
mommy.
50 Shades.
It,
You are welcome to
it's
today's live
never
show. I
too
hope
late
you're doing fine.
you to succeed. Yes, mommy, it's never too late to succeed in life. It's never too late. It's how you start, Abi, how you carry yourself. Your mistake, we use our mistake to learn. You make a mistake today, just giving up, no. Or I'm too old to do this thing, no. It's ability for us to carry ourselves. That is what really matter. Maybe you do something now and you are not success. Then once you start it again, you might be success. Like some people who fail in class, repeating that class, their second time, they will pass it because they already know it. Because they don't want that the same thing to repeat itself. For me, it's not too late. That is my own. To succeed in life is not too late. Yes, it's ability to know what you want and to work on your failure. Once you work and you know what you want, you will get there. Whether you are old, you are young, you will get there. Just be focused and know what you want and know what you are bringing out. Like yesterday when I talk about investment, some people invest, but they don't know what they are invest for. Some people just hear about business. Some people hear about YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, let me invest. But you don't know anything about YouTube. You are investing. What of tomorrow now? You are not succeed. You will say, oh, I always fail. No, you need to understand what you are doing. Then you will succeed. How you do your thing, that is how you will speak for you. And to succeed in life, it doesn't matter you are too late, you are too old, or no. Anytime your success comes, then grab it. I don't know if I come out good. Mommy, I can't hear you. Mommy, you mute. Oh.
Thank you. You make you make a lot of sense, and
Thank you, Mommy.
I'm always elated with your participation and your contribution. I was saying hi to everybody who is coming to the chat. Mountain of Inspiration, 50 Shades, all of you in the chat, everybody talking to everybody. Thank you for coming and thank you for gracing this topic. You can come up to you can click the link and come up to share your ideas, or you can just keep contributing in the chat. You can ask any questions, and then every one of us will try to answer. Absolutely. I'm talking about trying things over and over and over. Because when we hear that Colonel Sanders of KFC found success at 62, what does that
Okay.
mean? He was trying over and over and over and over until he finally got it right. And that is why we say don't give up, because you might be just one decision away or just one step away. And that's why you have to keep trying. And what do they say? Fail first attempt in learning, which means you keep learning, and each time you keep doing it again, you have experience from the last time, which means every new time is better than
Yeah.
the last time. And that is what makes human beings human, to strive to be better than the last time. So when we say Nelson Mandela became president at 77 after 27 years in jail, what happened? did not give up on his dream. He did not give up on the fight. He had something he was fighting for, and he kept on, no matter the challenges, no matter that they wanted to break him in prison. But he was focused because he had his dream, he had a
Yes.
mission, and he went all the way. So giving up is not the option. And all the time, you always think that this is the last for you. I always ask people, remind yourself the last time you had a challenge and you thought that this was the end. What did you do? You flexed those resilience muscles. You went deep inside to find, to look for answers. And what happened? You found the answers. And you see, that is something about looking. Because even in the Bible, what did the Bible say? God said, ask and you will be given. So you,
Yes.
and then you don't get it. Seek
And shall be fine.
and you shall find. Even if you ask and seek and you don't get it, knock
The door
and
shall
the
be
door will be
open.
open to you. What does it, they didn't say just knock once. You keep knocking until you get an answer. Hi, Miss T with the T. You're so welcome. I am so happy that today you are here with us. We are on the topic. It is never too late for you to succeed because
So,
success does not have a deadline. Yep, ask and you will be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will open.
it shall be open.
So, Miss T, I don't know if you're working. If you want to come up to share with us, it's always a blessing to have you. Miss T is our Chief Networking and Connection Officer, like Niger daughter is also our Chief Networking and Connection Officer. I'm so happy to have you all today. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I always want to give the reminder. I sit on this microphone every day to remind you all, those who are here and those who are watching the replay, and everybody that I have the opportunity to talk with, it is never too late to start a new dream or to start a new life, because we are a work in progress and there is always room for improvement, and there is always the blessing in starting over, because you are starting from the lessons you learned from your last mistakes, which will help you to take better decisions and to make more informed choices and to take empowered action. And we always say action is the foundation for success. And we are also saying that success is you who defines success for you, because success for some people is the money, is the titles, is the cars or the property that they have. For me, success is the things that I have that money cannot buy. I'm not saying that money is not good. Money is good, but don't be a slave to money and don't make money your focal point. There are other things that can make life more sustainable for you, can make you more happy than only money. And those things cannot be bought. Absolutely. Success comes from hard work. So the things that make you happy, that gives you peace of mind, that gives you joy, sometimes you cannot buy them with money. And so you define what success is for you, and the competition you have is with yourself. You are not, thank you, Luis, you are not competing with anybody. You are competing to become the best version of yourself, which means every new day you want to become a better person. And so when you are growing, you are not looking at what others have or you want to be like them. And that is why they say you can model success. And what do they mean? Copy the successful strategies that the successful people have used to succeed, apply them to your own circumstances, and replicate them, and have your own success. They didn't say you should copy them and paste. No, they said adapt and replicate. Because why? Everybody is unique, and success is not a one size fit all. And you cannot copy and paste, because everybody's experience, everybody's circumstance is different. But you can copy the strategies that they used, adapt them to your own circumstances, and then apply them and get your own success. And I'm keeping this comment from Blessing. God cannot give you success without input from your side. And I really am happy about this, especially for all my brothers and sisters who are watching from Africa. Because we were taught that prayer will give you everything that you want. And then people go to church and keep praying every day, thinking that manna will fall from heaven. No, you have to put in the work. God cannot give you success without input from your side. God cannot make your plants grow if you don't go and work the farm and plant. God will bless. You have to give God something to bless. And I always like to go back to to those of us who take the Bible and we are misled, and we think that we will be praying and miracles will happen. What are miracles? Miracles, I will still say, are you being in action and meeting opportunity. And I always tell people, when you are reading the Bible, look at those verses where Jesus healed, was doing his healing. Every time he healed anybody, he gave them action to take. When he put mud in the blind man's eyes, he said, "Go and wash your eyes." When he asked the guy to get up and walk, he didn't hold him to walk. He said, "Get up, take your mat and walk." So every time, action is always the foundation. There is nothing without action, and action is on your own part. And so when you are praying, be in action, because only praying and theory is not going to get what you want. You have to practice, you have to take action. And when you are focused on your growth, you take informed choices, you make informed choices, and you take empowered action. What is empowered action? Empowered action is the action with a focus, because you know that if I take this particular action, I am going to get the results. You are not just taking action in the air, you are focusing your energy. And so we come back to, it is never too late for you to succeed, but you have to be in action. You have to be searching for new creative ways on how to grow and how to become your better version, because you are your own competition. You define your own, you have your own definition of success, and the clock is yours. It's nobody else's clock. And so nobody has time. Nobody should put time, a time lag on a time tag. And Louis says you have to ask him. Asking for is the way to express what you want and make it deep inside your soul. Absolutely. Ask, be prepared to take action. Because when God gives you, he wants you to act, to make it your own and to make it permanent. You have to put in some work. And most often, people really just give up because they think that they have tried everything and have not succeeded. And that is why we keep bringing back the stories of the successful people who had to try over and over and over and over. Success is not overnight. And I will still come back to the example of those who know how planting, those who do farming, they know that you have to pick the best seeds, you plant them, it takes time for them to germinate, and then you have to nurture them because you plant them and then you go to your farm every day to remove the weeds that would disturb your crops from growing, and nurture the mulch the soil so that it should be conducive for the plants, and you keep nurturing. Eventually it will blossom, and eventually you will harvest. You don't just go and plant one day and then you come and sit and go to harvest. You might go there when maybe weeds have taken over and your plants are dead. So you have to be vigilant, you have to be working. It is continuous, it is not a one day thing, it is every day. And that is how life is. You have to keep being in motion, and keep being in motion intentionally. You have to focus because it doesn't mean you just get up in the morning and you start going. You have to know where you're going to be able to arrive your destination. And 50 Shades says God's delay is not denial. Absolutely. Because sometimes we think, um, when things are not going well, it means, or when we don't get the things we ask from God, it means things are not going the right way. Sometimes God answers us the right way, not our own way, his own way. Like they say, because he knows us, he has seen what we have not seen, he knows what we don't know, he has heard conversations we have not heard, and he has the best plan for us. And every time is God's time. God's time is the best. We have to be really patient. Nothing happens overnight. Patience, hard work. Sometimes you will ask me, there are some people who work hard and they don't succeed. And I will tell you, when you don't have challenges, you don't you don't value what you have, because sometimes you think that I am working too hard, I am not being blessed, I am not progressing, I am not successful. What is success for you? What is success for you? And what is hard work for you? Maybe you have not put in the best that you have to put in. But I also tell you, I'll come back to 50 Shades. God's delay is not denial, because sometimes God wants to prepare you to receive the blessing that He's sending your way. And most times, we are not prepared to receive the blessing that God wants to send to us, because we don't know, but He knows better, and He knows us. I have seen in my own life that most of the things that happen, that's why they say most things that happen, they happen for us and not against us. And they prepare you for your blessings. And so most often, God is preparing us. I will also say that I God knows that if He gave me money, or a lot of money before now, I will not know how to use it, because I had to redefine my relationship with money. Now I am ready, God, to have those millions, and He knows that I am ready now. So sometimes He's delaying to prepare us to be ready to receive the blessing that He's sending. Yes, Louis, it just means not the right time or the right way. Exactly. Not the right time or the right way. That is something that I learned over the years, because what is life? You learn, and be vigilant to see those lessons. When you are vigilant to see those lessons, it really helps you, because it makes life a little more meaningful, and you don't spend your time regretting or expecting or killing yourself over, I don't have what I want. I have prayed over this thing forever and I have not had it. God is not listening to me. God is never at sleep. He is always awake and He is always listening. But He knows what is good for us at each time of our lives. And so, most often, even when we pray over something and we don't get it, it does not mean things are not going right. We have to listen. Like my coach always says, when we ask God, prayer is when we are asking God, meditation is when we are listening to God. So when we ask, we have to listen for the answers, because sometimes He tells you, no, you are not yet ready. But always stay prepared, always stay ready, so that anytime that he sends it, you are ready to receive it. And the truth about success is that really there is really no deadline. I will go back to the Forbes, the famous Forbes list of 100 famous people. And what did they say? It is the average age where most people started top companies in the world was at 35. What does that mean? It means before 30, if you have given up on your dreams, it means you are losing out on your blessings. Hi, Wukong, you are so welcome, and I am happy to have you today. I hope everything is going well. I hope you are doing fine. Thank you for coming. So what does that mean? It means if you give up before 30, then you are losing your blessing, because it is at 35 that most people start successful companies. That is the average. That is the average. Yes, I know it's you. You are welcome. Whatever name you use, you are Luis and you remain Luis. And so I am keeping this comment, highlighting it, because to tell you that it just means not the right time or the right way. Absolutely, it is very important, and that's why I want people to really focus on it and really digest it. And so I was talking about Forbes 100 list of famous people, which says that most of the famous people started those famous companies at the average age of 35. What does that mean? If you have given up on your dreams before 30 or before 34 years, it means you are losing your blessing. You're losing sight of the blessings that are coming your way. And that is why we keep repeating, it is never too late to succeed. It is never too late to succeed. And like they say, hi, success, you are welcome. And I am happy to have you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the support. Wow. Yep. Good times, homestead. Jen and Steve, you are so welcome. I started my kids at 37, so I'm doing all right. Absolutely. You are so welcome to the chat. And I am so happy with your participation, because I come from Africa, where they measure your success by the fact that by 30 you should already have children and you should already have your family, you should be married and you should have children. And if you don't have them by 30, they think that you are a failure. And I'm so happy that you are a living example, that you can even start at 37 and still be doing all right. Thank you so much for sharing with us, because this is going to help someone who is thinking at 35 that they are not married and that they are already a failure. And so I'm so thankful for you to share your experience with us. And so because this makes you to understand that you are not a failure because you failed at some things at some times. Absolutely. It is never too late. And you are not a failure because you haven't started your own company at 30 or your own business at 30 or you don't have any money saved. You are not a failure because you are not married and you don't have children by 35. You are not even a failure because you don't own your own home or your own at 40 or 50. There is always room for improvement. And we are a work in progress. And absolutely, God's blessings is always on time. Because why? Every time belongs to God, and His time is the best. And even you are not a failure, even if at 50 you have not figured out what you want to do with your life. Because why? Most of the successful people, they started in their 50s and in their 60s. That is when they started building on their dreams. They never gave up on themselves. They just kept figuring out what their dreams were and how best they could make it come true. And they kept working on themselves to become their better version, to become better and better with each new day. And so we are reminding you that you could be literally just one decision away to turn your life around. Yes, never too late as we are on a way. We are a work in progress. There is always room for improvement. And I will repeat, at 23, Oprah had just got fired from her first job as a reporter. But where is she today? She never gave up. She continued. At 30, Harrison Ford was a carpenter, but he kept working on his dreams. At 51, K. Kroc of McDonald's made his first winning McDonald's, and we know where McDonald's is today. At 52, that is when Morgan Freeman had the first major role in a movie, but he is one of the most famous actors we have today. At 62, that is when Colonel Sanders figured out how to make KFC a success. Even at 77, that is when Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa after spending 27 years in prison. So, whatever your dream is, it is never too late to achieve it. You are not a failure because you failed at some things at some point. You are a work in progress. There is always room for improvement. And your competition is with yourself, striving each day to be better than the day before. And you always bear in mind that you are just one decision away. You most times you are just one step away from your success. And so you might give up just at the verge of your success when you have worked so hard all your life, and then just to come and give up at the dying minute. No, you have to continue working on yourself. Don't lose sight of your dreams because success has no deadline. Continue working on you. Continue striving to be the best version of yourself. Keep your head high and tell yourself it is never too late. You are never too old. You might have missed a lot of chances. There are new chances every time. Like somebody said, opportunities are like the buses. When you stand at the bus stop, there is always a new bus coming at every 10 minutes or every 30 minutes or every 1 hour. There is always a new opportunity coming. Just be ready. Just be ready for when opportunity comes. Because what is luck? Luck is when opportunity meets you when you are prepared to take it. So if you are tempted to think that all the examples that I have cited are people of a different generation because the times are changing today, since we have many 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who are big millionaires, and because we have communication and technology that has made things possible for everybody to grow, that is should be your motivation. Because why? You can also grow and succeed. And so ask yourself, these people are not of a different generation. They are people who should inspire us to know that success is possible no matter when. It has no deadline. And when you start thinking about, oh, these people are people of a different generation, and so it's different now, think about all the unique stories in the Bible, how timeless they are. We are still inspired by stories in the Bible today. And when was the Bible written? More than 2,000 years ago. We are still inspired by those stories today. So we should not think that those examples are people of a different generation. It is valid for every generation. The truth is, we are all unique and our stories are timeless. Timeless means at every time they can inspire somebody, they can serve somebody, they can help somebody. And so the greatest take home: success doesn't have a deadline because everything needs time to grow. Nothing happens overnight when you're starting a new life, when you're starting a business, or even when you're growing day to day. You need to find the good seeds, you plant them, you nurture them before they will blossom and then they will bear the fruits. You have to be patient, but you have to put in the work. You don't have to sit back and think that things will happen. You have to be patient, you put in the work, and then you will have the harvest. And we are saying, if you want to feel truly wealthy, count all the things that you have in your life that money cannot buy and be grateful for them. It is never too late to start over. You can write your own definition of success. I decide to write my own definition of success by this definition of me being successful when I count all the things that I have that money cannot buy, because they give me peace of mind and they give me joy. Money is a good thing, yes. Thank you very much, Louise. We are also coming to the end of the show, and I thank you for being there. Have a good night's rest. It's already night there or evening, I don't know. But have yourselves, you are blessed, you too. Thank you very much. We are going to end in the next 2 minutes. And so many of us chase titles, money, social status, and yet we don't feel successful when we don't get those things. Define your own success. Define what success means for you, because we want to measure and compete with others. It is not a competition with others, it is competing with yourself to become your best self at every point in your life. Strive to be a better person, strive to become your own best version. And success is something that you have to define by yourself. No one can do it for you. I am happy. Success is having your soul filled, loving and being loved. Absolutely. So you define your own what success means for you, and then you work towards it. And the bottom line is, keep trying to to be a better person with each new day. And that is how you grow. Be your own competition, but you can also model success and become successful. Model what strategies successful people have used, adapt them to your own circumstances and to your own experiences, apply them, and get your own success. And always remember, it is never too late to succeed, and success has no deadline, because have your you are responsible for you. You have your own clock. It is your life. You are your own best friend. You are your own hero. You are the first on your own line, and you are the CEO of your own life. You are the one who is defining what success is for you. So thank you to all of you who were in the chat. So many of you. I don't want to start calling names so I don't forget anybody's name. I am so grateful that you were here, that you participated. And for all of you who are going to watch the replay, I am blessed to have you in my community, in my network. I am so happy for you. And I want you to always remember, success has no deadline, and it is never too late. Because why? We are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. So keep growing, stay focused, stay positive, and continue finding the best ways to become your best versions.